All right, we got some feedback there. All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Weather Extra on your Friday. Happy Friday. Glad you're with us. 48 First Alert Meteorologist Eric Burke. Quite a few of you in here on this Friday. Maybe you're watching out in the shoals and it's just pouring on you at the moment, and we are expecting more rain and storm coverage over portions of northwest Alabama as we go through the rest of the day today. Now, everyone has an equal chance of seeing storms, just the higher likelihood or chances, therefore, over parts of northwest Alabama. So Franklin, Colbert, Lauderdale County, if you follow along with the Storm Prediction Center, did put us under that marginal risk there. Just a narrow swath through parts of northwest Alabama into Mississippi as well. Biggest concern with this would maybe be some brief gusty winds, just more of the rain threat. We'll have to watch that closely. Seeing a few more lightning strikes popping up on this Friday morning. It's been just kind of infrequent, just here and there, and that's about it. But Donna, good morning. Watching out in Phil Campbell, some rain out in your area. Appreciate your loyalty as always. And then just a few more isolated showers now developing over parts along and east of I-65. So we've got a lot to cover on this Friday morning. Quick programming note, we've got U.S. Open golf coverage that comes up after Tennessee Valley Living. So no new newscast, no 4 p.m. and no 5 p.m. I believe those are the shows affected by U.S. Open golf coverage. So we will be here watching the storms for you, obviously, just not necessarily on the air like we typically are. So going to the radar, you can see all the heavy rain now moving through Lauderdale, Colbert County, out into parts of northwest Alabama. Waterloo, for example, the heaviest rain missing you just off to the east, but this is pushing right through the Quad Cities, tracking off into parts of Tennessee. You go a little bit farther to the south, Colbert into Franklin County. It is just heavy rain at the moment. This is not expected to be severe by any means. Gusty winds possible, but really just kind of a deluge at the moment. And then moving to the areas where we're just seeing some of that isolated pop-up shower activity. That's all we're tracking at the moment. So pretty uneventful so far. It was actually a very nice Friday morning commute. Had no traffic issues. We're keeping an eye on the roads for the early morning hours during the newscast and the Today Show. Didn't see anything of note, and that's pretty rare for a Friday. Roads seemed a little bit on the empty side almost, so maybe some of you got an early start on your Father's Day weekend. Big cluster of rain and storms, and this is kind of why they added that marginal, just a little bit more instability. It's actually a center of low pressure that we have off to our northwest, and that's going to be kind of the trigger mechanism for these bands of rainfall, some embedded storms to continue to sweep through as we go through the rest of the morning into the afternoon. I would say today probably has the most organized threat of storms, and not necessarily severe. I'm just saying a more organized setup because of the positioning of that center of low pressure. So we might even see a line of storms coming in at some point as we go through the afternoon into the evening. So when are the storms most likely? Obviously, you're seeing rainfall at the moment over a small portion of northwest Alabama, but as we start to heat up here, the cloud cover is going to limit our warming a bit today, so that might maybe knock down our high temperatures just into the mid-80s. We hit 90 again in the Shoals and Huntsville for your Thursday, but the most coverage of the rain and storms will start to ramp up as we go through that afternoon, evening time frame, like we're pretty much expecting as we go through portions of the weekend. So showers and storms today, showers and storms in the forecast Saturday, showers and storms in the forecast for Sunday. Some good news regarding Father's Day Sunday itself. It is trending a little bit drier on some of the model data. So that is something that obviously a lot of us would celebrate. We've got plans, looking at the toy blocks spinning away there that says Dad on it. But a big Father's Day weekend incoming. Happy early Father's Day to all the dads, stepdads, grandpas, father figures, papas, whatever you call those folks. You guys earn a good weekend, and hopefully we do get a good weekend. Now, I stress this. I put out a Facebook post on my page saying it will not rain and storm all weekend. I didn't mean it's not going to rain and storm. I rephrased it saying it's not going to rain and storm for the entire weekend from start to finish, all hours of the weekend. It's not going to be one of those setups where we just see a ton of rainfall. We'll see heavy rain at times. We'll see storms at times. It's just you will have dry hours. That's the point I'm continuing to stress over and over, is that it's not a washout of a weekend. But we are looking at rain and storms today. We're actively looking at it on the radar at the moment, as well as portions of Saturday and portions of the day on Sunday, Father's Day Sunday itself. So that's kind of the setup for the forecast. Now, Overall threat for severe weather is low. I'm not saying we won't have a severe thunderstorm warning or two. It could be maybe for some hail or a threat of some damaging winds. We get these collapsing storms this time of year. It's a summertime setup. We're not looking at a tornado threat by any means. Some storms, if they're a bit stronger, could produce some small hail, a lot of lightning. Lightning safety is so important on a weekend like this when so many people are spending time outside. Heavy rain, though, that's a guarantee, along with some non-severe wind gusts. Those are kind of your threats for today, Saturday, as well as Sunday itself. Once again, the clicker, just you have to hold it because it's going off the system that's all the way in the studio, and we're in the back of the building here. It doesn't always reach, so I sit here hitting the button over and over and over, just hoping my graphics start to advance. So let's take a closer look now as we go through the rest of the afternoon. Fast forward to the noon hour, and we're seeing that same band of rain and embedded storms just kind of over portions of northwest Alabama. That's pretty much where that band is going to set up and where it's going to stay, at least for the early part of the afternoon. Still sitting here clicking the button, just hoping that the graphics start to move for us. And again, we could see a little bit of a line developing. We'll be watching this line of storms closely, of course, and they start to track off to the east as we go through the hottest, most unstable part of the day, that being your afternoon into the early evening. So eventually, those storms start to track west to east, and probably the coverage of the storms higher today, I would think, than other portions of your weekend. You might be looking just specifically at that pop, the percentage or chance of rain or storms. That's kind of just more of a general outlook. You look at some of the model data. I'm going here with the North American model. Then we go through the evening commute. Friday evening commute could be difficult as always. We're still tracking some heavier rain, maybe some gusty winds and some lightning with this. Wrapping up though, after sunset, everything pushes off to the east. There's still a chance we see an isolated shower or hear some thunder overnight, and then we go to tomorrow morning. So starting off your weekend now, Saturday morning, I'm working the weekend mornings, Saturday and Sunday, so be sure to join us 5 to 7 on both Saturday and Sunday on WAFF before you turn it over to golf coverage. But looking at maybe a few showers, potentially a rumble of thunder, bringing in a kind of a cluster of rain here from mid to late morning. But notice how many dry hours we still have. The rain and storms are not everywhere. It's not just a blanket of rainfall by any means. Potentially a few showers and thunder coming in for Saturday evening. We go into Sunday morning now. Skies mainly cloudy to start off your Father's Day Sunday. So if you're heading out for church worship services, might have to take a peek at your 48 weather app. Check the radar, the hour-by-hour forecast. I'll be updating that through the weekend. But Sunday is trending better as far as our rain and storm chances. So that is some good news potentially for whatever you may have planned for Dad or whatever you have going on Sunday. That's what we're looking at. Maybe a few scattered storms into Sunday afternoon. And then this kind of humid, muggy, unsettled pattern does stay with us into Monday of next week as well. So we'll keep shower and storm chances for most of next work week. Temperatures 82, and that's where it's raining still out at Northwest Alabama Regional Airport. So that rain isn't just knocking down our temperatures entirely. Everyone else will continue to warm up here as we go through the rest of the day. Highs will be cooler than what we had yesterday, probably in those mid-80s. You look at your rain and storm chances there on that yellow bar, just expecting scattered showers and storms as we go through the rest of the afternoon. So keep an eye on things if you're out running errands, getting everything ready for the weekend. Just keep an eye on that. Have the umbrella close by. This is just a general idea of what we're potentially looking at. Any slower moving storms are going to produce a lot of rain in a short amount of time. So these numbers, I said this yesterday, said this on Wednesday. Down the road, they could have 3 inches of rainfall by the end of the weekend. And meanwhile, at your house, maybe you picked up a drizzle, just a light shower, 1/10 of an inch. Very hard to predict the when and where of these showers and storms with this pattern. But I mentioned that center low pressure. It's basically over the boot heel of Missouri. You can see that counterclockwise rotation around the low. Heavy rainfall through parts of Louisiana into Mississippi. But we're going to see that band of showers and storms developing here over the next couple of hours and then progressively tracking west to east as we go through the rest of the day. So I want to show you kind of that broad setup. It's kind of a lousy weekend for a lot of places that are east of the plains, all the way up into the northeast. They've had some miserable weekends, as have we lately too, but we'll be tracking more chances for rain and storms. 71 overnight tonight, stray shower, rumble of thunder, warm, muggy start to your Saturday morning though. Go to your Saturday forecast. Periods of showers and storms at times, Temperatures over the weekend look to be in the low to mid 80s. It will be very humid. Again, the coverage of these storms will be hit and miss, not widespread chances we're talking about here, but anticipate some interruptions or delays to those plans on Saturday as well as Father's Day Sunday. Getting over to your extended 7 and now 10-day forecast too. Basically, showers and storms through the weekend, not all weekend, but we will see periods, delays, interruptions, everything like that. Could be 15 to 30 minutes, could be 1 to 2 hours, but for Father's Day itself, as of now, trending a little bit drier. Good news for that. Humidity sticks around into early next week. Temperatures for highs will be in the mid to upper 80s. Most of these days, though, it will feel like 90s. It looks like this very unsettled active pattern might start to break down and change a bit as we go into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Mentioned this yesterday. I've got my golf tournament next week. I'm watching the weather very closely, hoping for dry conditions. It looks like it's going to be hot, regardless if it's storming or not, hot and humid. So the heat index will be up there. We'll be out playing in the heat. But watching the storm chances for the end of next week, a lot of upper 80s, low 90s. So a hotter trend coming up for sure as we go into middle to latter part of next work week. It will officially be summer. You see Friday there with the yellow summer text below it. June the 20th, the official start of summer. So that's it. Watching some of the heavier rainfall that we have right now over portions of northwest Alabama. Not seeing a ton of lightning right now. Biggest threat for storms will likely be west of I-65 for the day today. Can't rule out some brief gusty winds and a ton of lightning with this. And then we'll continue to keep you updated, of course, on your chances and your rain and storm timeline. Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis will be with you. Abbreviated newscast again due to golf coverage, but we will be in the building. He'll still knock out his weather extra probably tonight around 9:30. I'll have weather extra at 8:30 on both Saturday and Sunday. So that's about it. Thank you for your time as always. Thanks for joining us for Weather Extra. Hope you have a fun and safe weekend. Spoil your dad figure, Grandpa. I know this can be a tough weekend for many of you. When you lose people, it's not always easy, but hoping for the best and have a safe weekend. Thank you for your time. Appreciate you guys as always.